Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on InspireSmall.biz. What is Indy's Trusted Servant? Well, that's me, Danny O'Malia, Indy's Trusted Servant. I do customer service training and keynote speaking about customer service. It's all about the culture of the organization, i.e. why are Chick-fil-A and Nordstrom's better than everybody in their respective industries? Well, they had great cultures and they kept them. I learned all about culture from the master, my late father, Joe O'Malia, back in the O'Malia food market days, and even before that, when I was about 9 and 10 years old, he owned a little grocery store in Broad Ripple with one cash register. It's where the Vanguard Bar is now, and he lost that store, and 10 years later, he came back and successfully launched O'Malia Food Markets. One of the things I learned from my dad from all that experience was never, ever, ever give up. If you'd like to learn more about my customer service trainings and keynotings, give me a call at 317-413-9062. What's the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on InspireSmall.biz? I like to describe it as lively local small biz and community talk where you can feel the pulse of Indy. And today, my guest is Tim Rathz, the CEO, I guess, right, of
Guest Services Manager.
Guest Services Manager of Fatima Retreat House. Fatima Retreat House, I'm a member of Catholic Business Exchange, and we have our bi-monthly members-only meetings at Fatima Retreat House, but I've known about Fatima Retreat House all my life. So Tim, welcome to the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on InspireSmall.biz.
Thank you very much, Danny. I appreciate you having me.
Well, good. Well, first of all, give our viewers a little history of Tim Rathz, where you grew up, what you studied where, and how you ended up at Fatima Retreat House.
Absolutely, yeah. So I was born and grew up on the east side of Indianapolis. So I went to Little Flower Catholic Grade School and Cecina Memorial High School.
What year did you graduate from Cecina?
1997.
Oh, you're a young guy. Oh, that scares me.
Bless you. I'm in my 40s, so thank you for calling me young. Went from there, did a couple of years at IU, and from there went into the working world and I ended up spending about 10 years at a medical billing office where I worked my way up to supervisor.
Is that here in town?
It is, yeah,
okay,
yes. Yeah. And so I just wasn't feeling fulfilled there.
I believe you.
I enjoyed the work itself and the people that I worked with. I just wasn't getting what I needed. And what I really wanted to do was find something in my faith. So I just so happened one day to...
So you're a lifelong Catholic?
I am, yes.
Yep, Little
yes.
Flower, Cecina, yeah, okay.
And so I just so happened across the Archdiocesan website, and there was this position available at Our Lady of Fatima Retreat House, and so I took a look and kind of read it, and I was like, that looks like something I would love to do. I remember being on a retreat or two there.
Oh, okay.
And loving the atmosphere, and you know, it's kind of in the middle of the big city, but you wouldn't be able to know that if you were there.
Yeah, you definitely. We'll talk more about that probably as we go along. So, what year did you join Fatima?
2018, so about 4.5 years in.
And are you in the same position as when you joined?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell us about Fatima Retreat House now.
Sure, absolutely.
And a little history and what happens there, and is it limited to Catholics? I think that might be a common misconception there, so
absolutely.
Fire away.
It is not limited to Catholics at all. Our Lady of Fatima Retreat House is open to everybody, all walks of life, any religion, whatever you are. If you want to be there, we want you there.
And that would include a small business retreat that's not even religious, right?
Absolutely,
if somebody's looking for a place to have a meeting.
Absolutely. Right? As you mentioned, the Catholic Business Exchange is there every other month for their members-only meetings. And that is, and it doesn't have to be Catholic, like I said, but that's a bunch of people in our business community that come together, and we do offer luncheons, business retreats, and we get several of those a year for people to come in and get their work done and get together as a business, as an office, and come in and just kind of find themselves and get some friendship going. So
well, and as a part of that whole thing, especially for the business people who might be looking for a place. You know, the people that are with the churches and stuff know about Fatima, and they know they can bring their retreats there. But there are rooms there where you can stay overnight.
Yes.
Right? That's an important aspect of that.
So we have 60 bedrooms. Some of them sleep more than one. We can sleep up to 80 people on any given retreat. A lot of people do weekend retreats or just even sometimes one overnight. We currently have a high school there. A lot of the high school retreats come. They spend Tuesday to Friday.
Which high school?
Right. Currently is Brebeuf.
Okay.
But last week was Chittard. And then Cardinal Ritter also comes and spends some time with us. And from time to time, we may get some people from Cathedral or even Cecina. And we recently talked to someone from Roncalli. So
you got all the Catholic high schools in Marion County there, right?
we got them coming. Yeah, even Guerin even came one time.
I was going to ask you about Guerin. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
For the uninitiated, that's the Catholic high school in Fishers. So it's in a different diocese.
Right.
But so tell us about some of the programs at Fatima.
Absolutely. So what I do personally is I'm the guest services manager. Anyone that wants to rent our space comes and they contact me. But we also have a programs manager, Jennifer Berger, and of course our Georgine Byrigger and Cheryl McSweeney. They are our directors and associate directors, and they put together programs that we host.
So I could bring my own company or my own church in and do our own thing.
Yeah.
Or I could sort of buy one of your programs.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So tell us about the programs.
Sure, absolutely. So we have some that kind of goes throughout the year. One in particular is called a Day of Silence. So the Day of Silence is people come in. They come in about 8 in the morning. We have some snacks available and all that. But what we do is we maintain silence throughout the entire day. So people can do whatever they want with the day. We give them a bedroom they can use however they want to use it. Lunch is included. And we do offer a mass for anyone who wants to attend. That's not necessary if you don't want to, or if you're not Catholic and you don't want to go.
So other than the mass, there's no real program for the Day of Silence. It's all up to the individual what he or she does.
Absolutely. Right? So a lot of times they like to spend some time outside, weather pending, obviously.
And let's talk about the outside atmosphere there.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So for the uninitiated, you're located right next to Cathedral High School on East 56th Street.
Yep, and we actually share some land with them in our woods.
Yes, and very, very close to I-465.
Yes.
For people coming from distance, it's really easy to get to.
It is.
But part of the charm of Fatima Retreat House is not just the retreat house, but you have you can walk the Stations of the Cross outside, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of trees and kind of hilly and very pretty.
Lots of animals. We have deer that run through there, big fat squirrels that we feed. So yeah, there are all kinds of birds. You'll see cardinals and blue jays and bluebirds and woodpeckers. So we have, like you mentioned, we have the wooded trails that people can walk. And in that is the Stations of the Cross, if you'd like to participate in that. We will soon be getting let me see it here. It's called the Stations of the Nativity is what we're calling it. So it's going to be kind of the steps of Jesus' birth. That's going to be going in soon. It's going to be an Eagle Scout project. So we're always looking for Eagle Scouts to help us out as well.
God love the Eagle Scouts, no doubt about that. So in other words, you're going to add to the Stations of the Cross the Stations of the Nativity thing.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Yes. And we have Eagle Scout projects happening there. I mean, fairly often. They did a whole shrine to the Holy Family for us out in the woods. And
how'd you get connected to the Eagle Scouts?
It's been years.
Even before you?
Before me.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, whenever we need a project that needs to be done, and we know that there are Eagle Scouts that need a project because that's how they get their badge.
Yeah.
We reach out to them and we take a look.
Good partnership.
Absolutely.
Great partnership.
Absolutely.
So back to your Day of Silence.
Yes, sure.
specifically. So you got the outdoors thing you can do. You can spend the whole day outdoors if you want.
Yes, we actually have a brand new patio that we just poured this past year. Also, it's just off the main room that we have chairs out there, and you can see down the hill and all the land that we have down there. So also outdoors, we also have a prayer labyrinth. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
No, I'm not. I haven't been to that.
So that's just outside of the chapel. It looks like a big maze, but the difference is there's no dead ends. So what you do is you walk it and pray however you want to pray. But basically by the time you end up in the middle is when you kind of give things up to God, and then you walk yourself back out. And you can pray however you want to pray on it. Yeah. But a lot of people really enjoy using that.
So you have, obviously it's a retreat center, you have a chapel. Yeah. How many people does that seat?
The chapel, we try to keep it probably about 100 or so.
Okay, 100 max.
Yeah, I'd say about 100 to 110 or so.
And it's a very pretty chapel.
Yes.
So So you got the day of silence. So you if you're interested in that, you got to sign up when you get enough of a crowd there, right? How many people do you have to put that on?
The day of silence?
Yeah.
So we max it out, I believe, at about 15 or so, because we want people to have plenty of space.
What's the minimum?
The minimum, I mean, we've done it for 2 before.
Okay.
But I will say, since the pandemic, that's where we learned people really needed a space and some time to go for themselves. For some silence. We've sold out pretty much all of them since the pandemic, when before that we
really?
would get 2 to 3 people.
Oh, really?
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed to get out of the house too, right? Yep. So you got the day of silence. Do you have one on the calendar, or?
Oh yes, actually we do. We have them scheduled for most of the year, if not all of the year. So our next one is Thursday, February 16th. And then into March 9th is another one. But we also do, so we have Lent coming up.
Oh, right. Wait, before we get to Lent.
Okay, sorry.
Give everybody contact information if you're interested in signing up for these retreats or finding out more about the retreat house.
Absolutely. You can either give us a call at 317-545-7681 or visit our webpage on archindy.org/Fatima. That's Fatima.
Indy,
yes.
ARCH, Indy, INDY.
Correct. .org/Fatima.
/Fatima, FATIMA.
Yes, correct.
Great. So you got those coming up. You got other programs besides that, though, that you guys do for, for somebody that wants to have a planned out event.
Planned out event, absolutely. Yeah. So there are several things that are every year. Another one that unfortunately we have quite a need for is, it's called You Are Not Alone. It is for the victims and survivors of suicide loss.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes, very heavy, but it's quite a need. We have people that drive in from all over the country for this because there are very few things like this
That's
out there.
Specific to suicide.
To suicide loss, yes, for family members, friends, whoever. Whoever has been affected by it.
That's so. What you got a date on that?
That's later on in the year. So
much later. Okay.
You can check out our website. There are several Zoom programs for that leading up to it, and then there's the in-person weekend that we hold.
Okay. So are the Zoom programs still much later in the year?
Those will be starting up here in the next month or 2.
Okay. So once again, go to the website. Give us the website again.
Yep. It is archindy.org/Fatima.
So if you're interested in a retreat that's specific to families that have suffered a suicide.
Yes, correct.
That's it. Now, have you done that before, or is that something new because the need is more than you thought it was before?
That is, I believe we've only had that for a couple of years.
Okay.
Honestly, post-pandemic is where we kind of started seeing what the needs of people really were, because it kind of brought out a lot of what people are really feeling, all the isolation and everything during that time. So we kind of learned what people need.
Speaking of the pandemic, how badly did the pandemic hurt Fatima?
pretty bad at the time.
Yeah.
We are just now recovering, but we are recovering well. We are, weekend-wise especially, we are full through the year.
Really?
There's a few
Pretty
weekends,
much every weekend.
a few weekends here and there, but
That's great.
yeah, and we have a lot of returning groups as well. So if you've been coming to us for a while, we give you the first option each year of around the same time that you had been here before.
Do you ever have two groups at once, or is that?
We do every
You've
once in
done
a
that.
while.
Yeah, okay.
So you have the option. All of our pricing is a la carte. So you have the option of you can either rent out the entire building, or you can rent out the main level conference room, which is we have big windows there. You can see all the outside.
And that's where we have the CBE
Correct.
members
Yes.
only. That's the
where we have
biggest
that.
room other than the chapel, right?
Yes, correct. And then we also have a lower level, which was just redone in 2018. So it is, we actually have one conference space down there that is about the same size as upstairs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It divides up into 3 smaller ones.
So there
if
could
you
be
want.
2 groups having events there at the same time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
So, and we
fantastic.
do that sometimes, and so people sometimes either share the dining room at meal times, or if there's too many people, we sometimes serve people downstairs. We're pretty flexible with what we can do, and we really want to make people happy. So.
And we're speaking to the Director of Guest Services. Speaking of flexibility,
Sure.
you're the man to talk to when it comes to that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else? What other programs you got?
Yeah, through the year, we have another one that's called Being and Belonging. That is for divorced and separated Catholics. That one particular is for Catholics. And that is one that we kind of co-sponsor with the group itself.
Well, what about people of other Christian religions? Are they invited to that?
Yes, actually they are.
Yes, okay.
I would just have to check in kind of with some of the leaders of that one, because we kind of co-sponsor that. So it's not one that we don't actually come up with the programming for it, but we.
So in some of these instances, you guys aren't doing the program. Somebody comes from outside and does the program.
Yes,
sometimes.
there are some times where we call them sposted programs. So they're either sponsored or hosted, and we will kind of combine that, where we will help with the advertising and some of the financing, but we don't actually come up with the programming. So we have some we come up with all the programming, some people just rent the space, and some right there in the middle.
and the serving of the food is optional.
Is optional.
Is optional.
Yes.
Okay.
So people can. We don't allow outside catering.
But you can bring your own.
You can bring your own as long as it is not. It has to be commercially made. So you can't make chili in a crock pot and share it with everybody. That's just part of our kitchen license. But if you order pizzas from somewhere or whatever,
Something
you're
like
more than
that.
welcome to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So again, flexibility is the key there.
It is, absolutely. And some people choose to do that, but I will say we have a fantastic kitchen staff, and our food is it's excellent.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. What are some of the options in food?
Oh, sure, yeah. Typically, our kitchen manager will make up the menus, but we do take suggestions as long as we're able to provide that. But we do all kinds of things. Sometimes we do some nicer dinners where we'll have like a nice like pork loin kind of thing, or like some salmon and that kind of thing.
Okay, great. So you've, again, flexibility. So I'm wanting to put on a program for my church or my business, and I would like to have a certain dinner. You would try to handle that as long as it wasn't too far out, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. We try to do whatever we are able to do for the people that come in.
And once
spend
again,
time
that's
with us.
optional. If they want everybody to load up and go to a neighborhood restaurant, they can do that and come back and
Correct.
whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then, sometimes people come and there'll be a group of, say, 50, but only 25 of them are going to spend the night because the rest of them are going home for the night, but they come back the next day. You can do that too. You don't have to rent out every room. So there all kinds of flexibility.
Great. So you got more programs to talk about?
Sure, absolutely. All kinds of
He's
stuff.
brought the whole schedule here.
Yeah, sorry. No, all kinds of stuff. We also offer private retreats. So that's on your own as well, kind of like a day of silence, but we don't guarantee silence, but people can come in and use the grounds as they wish. That does depend on if we have other groups in the house on that particular day, but we do offer that opportunity for people, and optional overnights for that as well.
Oh, I forgot to ask at the start of the interview, what year was Fatima founded?
Sure. Originally, 1950, and that was not in our current building.
Where was it?
It was off of Raymond Street. I can't remember the exact name of it then.
Okay.
It started by nuns.
Oh, it started by nuns. Now,
Yes.
is it run by the Archdiocese
Currently,
of Indianapolis?
yes, it is.
Yes. So you're an employee of the Archdiocese of Indianapolis?
I am, yes, I am. So the current building was built in 1963, and it was built to be Fatima Retreat House. And so we've been doing that ever since. We love it. It's absolutely awesome. They've been fantastic to my family. My wife, Megan, and my 2 kids. I have little ones, Mary and Pat. They spend all kinds of time over there with me, sometimes while I'm working. Sometimes.
How old are the kids?
Mary is 3 years old. She'll be 4 in May. Pat is 1. He'll be 2 in March.
Okay. That's kind of neat to have the chance to grow up around a retreat house.
It is.
Right?
It really is.
That's pretty
and
cool.
My wife, Megan, is a teacher right down the street at St. Matthew's, so they spend a lot of time over there and over with me as well. So they get to kind of grow up around the school and retreat.
That's pretty cool.
Experience.
So we only got a few minutes left.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
what's top of your agenda?
Yep.
And when I say we've only got a minute left, then give the website and the phone number again. Okay.
Yep, no problem. So right now we're starting to enter Lent.
Lent,
so,
yes.
So we have lots of programs for Lent. We have our overnight/weekend programs are called Life Along the Road, reflections and meditations on our life journey towards God. That's going to be led by Father Jeff Godecker.
Ah, great guy.
Encountering the Women of the Bible, Lenten weekend retreat with Father Jim Farrell. That's March 18th through the 19th. Living with the Mystery, Paula Darcy. It's a weekend retreat, March 24th through the 26th. And then we also have some day and evening programs. Living the Stations of the Cross. That's going to be, we have an evening, March 13th, and a morning on March 20th, led by Beth Leonard. We also have Priest, Prophet, and King, Day of Reflection. That's going to be led by Deacon Bob Bikey. That's on April 1st. And then we have our, what we call Leave the Light On. So what that is, it's an entire day of reconciliation that we offer people to come in free of charge whenever you want.
So it's a day where you can go to confession.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. All
Great.
day. If you want to go in your lunch hour, that's fine. After work.
What's the date on that? I might need that.
That is April 3rd.
Okay.
From 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay, I'm going to put that on my calendar.
Absolutely. And following that immediately is the Holy Week Days of Silence. So we offer that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during Holy Week, 3 days of silence in a row where you can sign up for all 3, 2 of them, or 1 of them. It's totally up to you.
Fantastic. So once again, what is how do you get a hold of Fatima Retreat House?
Absolutely. You get on your website and get onto archindy.org, archindy.org/Fatima, Fatima, or give us a call at 317-545-7681.
And you will talk to Tim Rathz himself.
Absolutely,
right?
yes. In the flesh.
Okay, Tim, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Danny.
Next
I appreciate
week,
the opportunity.
Well, you're welcome, and God bless. Next week, our guest will be longtime networking friend, Chris Reed of Creed Development. He redoes your house for you. That's the best way I can talk about it. But he's also a very, very interesting guy. So listen up next week for Chris Reed of Creed Development and all kinds of creative stuff, right? So we'll see you then. Take care and keep listening and watching the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on InspireSmall.biz.